sexy souls. Welcome to Weird and Woo Woo, where I'm weird and we all get a little woo woo here, okay? We're going to be pulling cards, see if there's a message today. If you're sticking around, awesome. If you're not, have a fabulous day. For those who are sticking around, just a friendly reminder, you are a sovereign being of your life. You get to determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. My recommendation to you is to never Cinderella it to make it fit. Let's make sure we can see the table. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. It has the energy of kind of like knowing that something's going to I want to choose my words wisely. They want me to say happen this week instead of transpire. I don't know why. Um like I feel like I'm walking into something. You know how like when you in the fall there you wake up or in the evening there's like you can go outside and there's um fog. And it's almost like you can kind of like walk into it. So, like, say you're walking down the street or, walking down a path, and you can you can see and feel yourself enter into a fog. Now, I'm not saying that whatever is about to occur is a fog, but it's kind of like the idea of being able to see it and approach it and kind of walk through it like it's okay, here's another one. So you know how like sometimes you again it's another walking analogy. You're walking or driving, you can say driving, or you're just outside, you're going a particular direction, and you can see the moment the rain starts. I'm using a lot of like rain, fogs, but what's coming doesn't necessarily feel ominous like that or like gloomy or uh, uh stormy like that at all. It feels more like it's something that you know is approaching, but you aren't sure exactly what it is. But again, it's almost like you can sense it, see it, feel it. Kind of like how like you can smell the rain coming, or like and there's a definitive moment that you pass from. It's like a threshold. You pass from one thing to the next, right? Um, the fog and the rain do kind of give me this idea of like feeling like it's veiled a bit. I avoided saying that earlier, like walking through a veil, but it's really just like uncertainty of what it is that I am actually approaching, but I know that I am. And there's this feeling of like they keep showing me a calendar and like you almost know when you're gonna walk through this. And so um kind of like you can feel the energy inching closer to you, but you can almost kind of see it as well. Like you're walking directly towards it. Like you are walking in its direction directly towards it and intentionally walk through it or something like that. So, um, like I don't feel any sense of reservation on your part, just more or less like very observant because as you approach and walk through, you fully know you are. You're intentionally doing such. You're walking in the right direction, and you're very observant and serene almost as you enter into it, whatever it is. Okay, so we're going to pull from the Archangel Tarot. It's like a moment that you know is approaching. We're going to see what we can get. On the split, there is renewal, which is the Judgment card. Oh, wow. Five of Pentacles. Some kind of fears surrounding money that you have. Two of Wands. New partnerships or contracts. Continue to move forward. Kind of like what I'm seeing, like you're moving forward. You don't even hesitate. You keep walking forward. But it's also not haphazardly. It's very mindful and aware. So it's not impulsive. Hold on. Sorry, they're mowing and it got real loud. It probably will get loud again, but it's almost like same as like that mower when it's getting closer, you can hear it. It gets louder. There may be something because all I could think of course, as soon as I sit down, it should hear it. Oh my God. It is ridiculous. How loud that is and how they can start all the way at the other end of the neighborhood and decide they're going to leave the other end and come all the way at the very other end of the neighborhood of where they were. I'm like, why didn't you just make your way down the neighborhood? Like, it's almost like feeling like as soon as I sit down, it gets targeted. Sorry, I had to wait. Now he's doing some weirdish. This person that is mowing it. It's not in rows. It's not in this. He's doing some weird ass shit. Like just like he's like having fun out there. Because he took off the other direction, like two houses down, and now he's coming back this way. He's like, this thing is weird. What it felt like to me is that as soon as you walk through, or approach, or I want to say walk through this veil type thing, it's like eyes may be on you and things are attracted to you that weren't before. It's like it senses it, you know what I mean? Like the idea of like, um, you know, as soon as you're ready to relax, your kids can tell, they sense it and they come and bug you. Or like as soon as you're ready to just chill, your phone blares. Or like it's always like when any other time it's not attracted to you, but something about moving through this or approaching this thing, things are suddenly attracted to you. Things suddenly, eyes are on you that weren't before. That kind of a feeling. And so you may notice that because it's like the degree to which and the distance that something had to go out of its way just to come and disrupt this. I'm like, I know you're lying. And then I can hear them really far away. They went way far away. This yard is not done. They did like 3 or 4 passes, did like a 8 figure 8 over on the other side. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is what it feels like to me. So you may experience this. Like people really going out of their way to be able to people or things like nothing like whatever he is doing is not making sense. He went, "Oh my god. I'm gonna okay." It may irritate you. People may be trying to get into your business when this happens. Or maybe there's just energies that are suddenly attracted to you. Um, you may feel like there's watchful eyes. I can't tell if this is almost like it feels like one of those things where you're kind of like, you know, this dude didn't know I was in here doing this, but it feels like something supernatural that tries to throw things your way. You know, you're kind of like what spirit's trying to fuck with me right now? That's a little bit of what it feels like. You know what I mean? Um, and so, but I mean, uh, it's not doing anything, and it's not. It really. It's like the idea of like flies coming into your home. I'm trying to really grasp this because I don't want to make it sound like, oh, you're gonna get messed with and things are gonna be able to interfere or blah 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 blah. It's like nothing ever really touches you, but you can tell all of a sudden you're garnering in attention and eyes and pulling things towards you that you were not before after you walk through this veil. Oh my god. Done. Anyways, let's get back to this. Um, Fears that are surrounding money, new partnerships or contracts. It is asking you to open up. We have the King of Cups here. Let me see if I can. It's gonna do better. Is that better? Ooh, I kind of like that. Um, so King of Cups, right? Opening your heart and mind to those around you, trustworthy, heartfelt individuals. So if there's a partnership or anything else like that, or contracts, I feel as if they're asking you to open up to this. Nine of Wands really does. It's like a very protective stance. Um, but sometimes that level of protection can prevent you from having the courage to do something. It can hold you back. They are asking you not to give up, to have courage, um, that you're on the right path. Remember, I kept saying you are on the right path. Like you're walking right to it. You're literally walking right to it. Um, I don't even know if you know what it is. You may know what you hope it is, but you are literally walking right to it. I feel like you have peeled back the definition of what it is. I think that you had ideas and you had notions and you had specific details. And then you were like, you felt like that was maybe, you've pulled back from particular expectations in hopes to move forward, in order to be open. And what you don't realize is that is allowing you to walk right to the very specific detailed things you wanted. And so it's almost as if it's like it's allowing you to move without hesitation, whatever it is that you did. But you can feel it, whatever it is. It's in the place where you can feel it. It's almost like walking outside into the humidity where the air is thick and dense, and you can feel it touch your body. Um, so this is an indication that you're going to be able to make positive plans, that you are on the right path, that happy times are coming, you are being guided in the right direction. Let's find out. They want you to, there's something about being careful of fear-based thoughts here. Same as the devil card right there. Negative or fear-based thoughts, a false sense of entrapment. Let's see what they have to say about that. Hierophant, Queen of Wands. Whatever you peeled away, whatever the details were, it's somehow like the devil's in the details. I think that's where it consumed you, where you became fearful, worried, concerned, is because you were holding on to some very specific details, and so it kept you in a very scrutinous mindset, about what was happening around you, whether you were making it towards that, what it would require, things like that. And so when you removed those, it pulled you out of this scrutinous energy and kept you in a open, receptive to guidance kind of energy. Like you just followed the energy, is what I want to say. I feel like you also pick up on more now without that scrutinous type of perspective, without really breaking things down and trying to figure things out. It doesn't mean that you lack any critical thinking at this point or discernment. It just means that there were certain details, specificities that would allow you to get tripped up. So with Hierophant, it's they're talking about traditional viewpoints or methods, and I think some of those details, the reason you would trip up and scrutinize it is because your mind has an idea of the only way to do X, Y, and Z, or the only way for this to happen is this. Very traditional methods, like the tried and true things. When we're saying traditional, not necessarily like religious, but it's like the tried and true, where it's like my brain, like these are the most common ways, and it's like there's other ways of doing something, and so you were kind of like pigeonholing not just how something could happen, but it really gave you reason. It gave you more reason to feel like it couldn't happen than it could. Almost kind of like poo-pooing on your own desires, right? Dismissing something before it ever even can happen. Just because you haven't seen something transpire like this or happen as you've imagined it doesn't mean it can't. And then we have the Queen of Wands. Really rooting yourself in your power. But it's really talking about this allows you to kind of like spread your wings and fly, so to speak. Um, it gave you back your confidence, removing some of the specificity, and it doesn't mean that specificity isn't going to happen. I feel like you had specific details, but then you would break down those specific details into more minuscule, and then you would break it down even. And it was like that. That is where you got lost in the maze. Okay, and so that's why you had to pull back out. Because it's almost like that's the reason why where I get the sense of you don't know what you're moving towards because you quit trying to align it with a particular image and you just started following the energy of something. And the Five of Pentacles does talk about being in that sense of survival or lack. There is concern surrounding money. That's the one specific thing, and that might be the thing where it's like there's a detail that you know you need, but then you really like broke it down, and you're only seeing very traditional methods or way, casting traditional viewpoints on how that can be. And they're like, you don't even know. You would literally break it down, and it kept you locked in on those traditional methodologies and such. And so that very well may be the thing that was kind of like, but you're about to experience something very untraditional that ushers that in. You're watching how something unfolds. You're walking right to it. Yeah, you have given your mind a rest. Hold on. I'm so sick of sneezing. I've got no no real reason to be sneezing. I just there's a rest from strife. Hold on one second. I'm gonna sneeze again, and I'm getting irritated with it. Sometimes that's why I keep sneezing because it gets the snot going, and then all of a sudden I need to sneeze because the snot's going. I'm like, oh my god, I'm trying to get it to stop. Oh, anywho's, this is just rest from trying to figure it out. To me, this is the idea of observing and not absorbing, observing and not dissecting. It's the Four of Swords, by the way. It's trying to come out. Five of Fire. It didn't, but it was poking out. So I wanted to acknowledge it. Eight of Pentacles. So, like effort is rewarded at this time. Something is rewarded. There is an opportunity that's going to present itself. Again, new partnerships or contracts, very trustworthy individuals. Open yourself up to that. People who have beneficial advice and are respected and cultured, generous, professional, responsible, practical. There's some skill that is acknowledged of yours, something that you have cultivated over time, that you've dedicated time to, that is getting acknowledgement in regards to whatever this contract or this partnership is. This is what you're walking into. You're walking. Why do it feels like whenever you're watching this, it's this week. It feels like it's this week, but it'll be a very successful endeavor. They're telling you to accept this. So whatever this is, it's unconventional to a certain degree, and it's not traditional. Maybe even how it arrives. Like, I'm not applying for jobs, but something approaches me and it comes through me going to the grocery store and somebody hearing me over say something to my child and then a conversation starts at like the most untraditional way or method of getting it's going to address the underlying concern and fear, which is the lack of money, the lack of something, fear surrounding money. On the bottom of the deck, it's still there. Competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others, bothersome details. That's the energy of there was bothersome details, and you put those down and you just opened yourself up to the possibilities of how something could be. Whoever the King of Cups, King of Pentacles is a magician and can make things happen. Very well equipped with that and has a lot of experience of bringing something into fruition. Okay, so tell me about this offer. This is something that it is a connection of some sort. So it's a new partnership that is going to develop. There's some understanding or trust in regards to your it either has to do with your very empathetic, loving nature, or a very intuitive, like your intuitive spiritual connection. What is this opportunity? This is a good pairing for this partnership. This partnership is a really good pairing. Again, I'm also getting for someone out there, you the opposite can be true. So there are some of you where um, instead of seeing something as a problem and dissecting it through traditional viewpoints, you were doing your very best to avoid. And so you were kind of like throwing up roadblocks, like this needs to happen, but it has to happen very unconventionally and through untraditional methods. And you were looking at it through out of the box kind of like approach it. Like you were really doing everything you could to avoid any traditional manner in which something came in. So you were doing everything you could to avoid societal norms or expectations or like traditional methodologies and things like that. And that's actually how it's going to come in. There, the, again, the ego was fighting against something. You had something very specific in your mind in regards to how something was going to unfold, and whatever you were doing your very best to avoid or um, navigate through, like with dissecting it, um, it kept you closed off to the manner in which something was going to happen. And this is happening in this way. There's opportunity. It's good news in regards to finances. It does open you up to a new area. And then we got two cards that really indicate a new area. Like Eight of Pentacles could be like going back to school. So it's kind of like expanding on something, opening yourself up in a new area in regards to that. So anything else, Spirit, about this opportunity? All right, it's going to come in very fast. Sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time's going to be of the essence. Whatever it is, remember when you walk through that veil, you're going to have suddenly things being attracted to you, coming towards you that never would have, seemingly only for the reason, only because you did walk through the veil. There is something that you're walking towards, that you're going to walk into, that suddenly places eyes on you, but also attracts things that were never attracted to you before. Keep that in mind. It's a bit of an adventurous energy in regards to this new start. It does have a quick turnaround time. Okay. Yep. Leap of faith. It's a very unexpected opportunity. We did get that. Yeah. I think we're gonna stop there. I hope this finds whoever it's meant for. I hope you have a fantastic, wonderful day, and let me know if this transpires.